Okay, Matt. Hi.
Hi.
Just gonna go through these questions, and we're just gonna want to know a little bit more about Matt Posgai, the person.
Yeah.
Okay. First question: When did you notice you first started taking an interest in weather?
When I was 5.
5 exactly.
Yes.
Did something happen?
I don't know if it was the birthday. It was definitely when I was around 5 years old.
Did an event happen that got you interested?
I don't know. I always liked the weather.
But it was like kindergarten, you remember?
Something like that. I mean, I just always had this love for the weather. It always fascinated me.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
long as there was stuff going on. Usually the sunny days tend to kind of, not so much.
Because it's not interesting.
Well, there's just nothing going on.
Well, when did you decide to become a weatherman then? Was it right then?
Well, in terms of like making my life about weather,
Yeah.
that was. I mean, I've always wanted to do that. I never really thought about a job or a career at 5 years old. You know,
Well, when were you like, wow, I could do this for a living?
Well, I can't remember exactly when I thought about a job or a career, but it was definitely sometime between 5 and high school. You know, somewhere in that time. I don't know. But I've been told that meteorologists as a whole typically know when they're very young that they want to be meteorologists.
It seems like all you guys are like, I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah. It's a general fascination with it, and it drives people to want to learn more about it, and they stay in the field because they eventually, whether they still love it or not, it ends up being the best job in the business for them. I feel personally it's the best job in this business because, number one, it's easy, because I did all my homework in college. So, when I'm here, it's just looking at the models and then letting people know what's going on, and that's kind of what I like to do.
Okay, all right. What's the closest you've ever been to a tornado?
About, I think it was like 20 feet away.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah, when I was younger, when I was about 7 years old, I was on my way to basketball practice, and my mother was taking me to that basketball practice, and we were in the midst of like a severe thunderstorm, stuff blowing around everywhere, and there was this small, what they call dirt devils.
Right.
Kind of like the vacuum.
Yeah.
It shows the vacuum always has the dirt devil picture on it, the tornado picture. It was a dirt devil. We would be called an EF0 these days because it doesn't do much.
Yeah.
It went down the road straight towards our vehicle. We came to a stop, and as it was like 20 feet away from us, it swerved across the road and then tore up parts of the house, or not a house, but parts of the roof of a furniture store.
Wow.
These huge sheets of whatever was covering it. I can't remember what it was, some kind of sheet metal, but it was. I thought at first there were birds flying around in a circle or something, but that was actually the tornado there, and I was very happy to see that it moved away, because I was telling my mom we had to get out of the car and get into a ditch.
Even at that young age.
Well, yeah, it was always on the news.
And that's still what you say to the people in Texoma now if they see a tornado. John came within a mile, so you're beating John. You're the closest to a tornado so far.
Well, the thing is there are a lot of small tornadoes in Florida where I grew up.
Those are right.
Right, and there's a lot of them there, but they're very, very small. They don't do a lot of damage. Usually you'll find them associated with hurricanes, but sometimes with severe thunderstorms too. But there's a lot of them, and they're very, very small. And a lot of times they're just played off of as like what we would call here straight line wind damage.
Yeah.
And it's real hard to determine if it's a tornado or straight line winds because of insurance reasons, and people around here, I'm sure, have had to deal with that in the past.
I'm sure. All right, Matt, what is the perfect day weather-wise? Your perfect day, degrees, what's happening in the atmosphere?
Perfect in terms of what I love to experience personally.
Yes.
Is, I would say, there was a situation a couple years ago, I think it was my first year here, where we had severe thunderstorms in our southern counties and we had freezing rain in our northern counties. If we were to have a situation where we had thunder snow, I think that would be exciting to me.
Really?
Now,
that does sound cool.
I don't wish that on anybody. And we've had some thunder snow around here.
Yeah.
It's not been much, but we've had a little bit.
Yeah.
And that I don't wish that to be a problem for anybody. Let's say for the sake of argument, or for the sake of not offending anybody, I would love for that to be something that falls and then it melts as it hits the ground.
It only falls on your house.
It only falls on my house, you know, a thunder snow event right on top of my apartment room.
For 100,000, this is just a, how would you react to this, Matt? For $100,000 a year, would you go without hot water for a year? We're talking no hot showers, no hot water for dishes. 100 grand, would you go without hot water for a year?
You know, when I was in college, during the season of Lent, I lived with a group of guys where we actually went without hot water.
It was horrible, right?
It was horrible, yes, but I've done it before. I could do it again.
For 100 grand?
For 100 grand?
I think I could too. John said he wouldn't. I would too.
I could do it.
Okay. Once again, as I am, you talk about it on the air. You're a cat lover, as I am.
Yeah.
I like the cats. I currently only have a dog, but I have had cats in the past. So I'm going to give you a quick test. You ready? Was that a Brazilian short hair, a Himalayan Persian, or a York chocolate cat?
I have no clue.
Well, that's the correct answer. It was neither. And one more, Matt. Which nickname would you prefer? Matty Ice, since you're a weatherman, or Cat Posgai? I'm not going to call you either, but if you had to choose.
I would choose Matty Ice.
Matty Ice is
if
good.
I had to choose.
If you had to choose. That's a good one.
Thankfully, I don't. I have the power of persuasion by brute force.
Oh, you heard it. You threatened me, folks.
Right.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. That was good. Thank you so much. We're done.
Is that it?
That's
Okay.
it, man. That's it.